There's been a 30% increase in road deaths in New South Wales this year, according to new data. NRMA Spokesperson Peter Khoury joins us live now. Pete, what's going on here? A 30% spike in deaths. I mean, that's a real shocker. Why is this happening?
Yeah, good morning. Shocker indeed. And unfortunately, New South Wales is not alone. So we have seen a considerable jump in 2023, 253 deaths in New South Wales alone so far. And if you look nationally, the road toll for the same, from the 1st of January to the end of July alone, is up 7%. It's about 721 deaths. The 12-month rolling period, it's well over 1,200 deaths. So not good news anywhere, particularly bad in New South Wales, where we are working so hard to see the road toll reduced. We know that we've seen a number of high-profile catastrophic crashes that have claimed multiple lives. There was a terrible bus crash in the Hunter Valley that took 10 lives, and we've seen a number of other fatalities where at least two or more people have been killed. So it's been a terrible year and a timely reminder that we need to go back to doing the things that we know works.
Pete, let's talk about men. The statistics are pretty stark here. Most of the people dying on our roads are men.
Yeah, demographically, we know where the areas of concern are. It is always men. Men have always historically been, would die at a greater rate. But just look at the statistics this year, 77% is particularly worrying. Now, it is true that men will drive longer because men tend to be overrepresented in those transport type roles like driving heavy vehicles, courier drivers, truck drivers, although that is changing. So they do tend to be on the road longer. There's Uber drivers and taxi drivers. That shift is moving, which is obviously a good thing, but it also means that men are overly exposed, and that is a risk. And men, we certainly want them to take less risk, but sometimes they do. And that is a problem. Also, a huge concern is the fact that the overwhelming majority of deaths continue to occur outside Sydney on regional roads. And so this is not a per capita thing. People don't die where the population are based. They are dying in those regional centres and on regional highways and regional streets in great numbers. So that is also an area that desperately needs to be addressed. As we look at the demographic breakdown for 23, older Australians are dying more this year than they had in previous years. The largest demographic group represented in New South Wales is 70-plus drivers who are 70 years old or over. So we have been able to identify some key areas, but what we need to now start to do is target the whole state more comprehensively than we have been. It's time to put resources back into the work of the New South Wales Police, and this applies nationally. Every state and territory has its own challenges, but we need to see significantly more police on the roads all year round, not just during festive season operations when we see a greater presence of police on the roads for a couple of weeks while everyone's on holidays. We have NRMA's released research today that overwhelmingly shows the public wants the police back on the roads in greater number all year round.
And you're talking about marked police cars there. You obviously think that visible presence is a huge deterrent. Yeah,
so our research has found the top 5 causes of these fatalities according to the people who are driving on the roads. And, equal first at the top was speed and drink driving, and that would surprise nobody. Of growing concern to the community is people using their phones illegally, aggressive driving, and people taking illicit drugs and getting behind the wheel. And, there is obviously other factors at play. We need to improve the road network. It needs to be safer than it is. We need to spend more on making our regional roads better. We need to get people into the safest cars possible, because that's a surefire way of saving lives and when individuals are involved in a crash. But ultimately, those key factors, the drink driving, the speeding, the using your phone, if we're going to change behaviour permanently, then we need to have more police on the roads all year round, because what people start to do when they see police on the roads more frequently is they start to second-guess their behaviour behind the wheel. They internalise their behaviour. Is there going to be a cop car around the corner? Will there be one over the other side of the hill? Check that I've got my seatbelt on, check my speed. You're less likely to jump in the car after having a few if you think there's an RBT around the corner or if there's a police car somewhere around the way. So, the research we found 90% of people in New South Wales want to see more police on the roads. It's because the police are the ones who are most effective at changing all forms of bad driver behaviour. There's only so much that cameras can do, and obviously the NRMA supports the work of those cameras, but at the end of the day, we don't want to be 30% up on last year, knowing that last year wasn't a good year. We've still got the Christmas period to come, and if something isn't done, it's going to be a horrific year. 2023 will be a horrific year if we don't turn this around now.
Yeah, so many families grieving, no doubt, already. Pete Khoury, really appreciate you making the time as always. Thanks so much.